Up next, we will talk to a winemaker from the Hall and WALT wineries and taste some of their best wines for the season. Sounds good to me. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Switching from pre-med in college to winemaker might sound like an odd turn of events, but that's just what Megan Gunderson Paredes did, and she is here to talk about that transition and introduce us to some very special WALT wines. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me here. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, so you already poured these 2 glasses, yes, and that's all I can smell. It smells so good. So let's first talk about this transition from pre-med to wine. You say it all connects.
It does. You know, it's really a happy accident. I was finishing up my undergrad degree in biochemistry and molecular genetics, so the plan was to go on to study medicine. And that last year, I just kind of burned out on school, and I had always wanted to live in California. And I found a job online at Robert Mondavi Winery in Oakville. In their lab, my degree in biochemistry qualified me to go do routine lab work there. Packed up everything, moved to California, and started working harvest of 2001. So that was 17 years ago, and I've never looked back once. So it's been a lot of hard work, a lot of getting dirty, getting out into the vineyards, working in the cellar, working my way up through the ranks. But it's been a lot of fun, and it was a good career change, I think, for me.
Well, no kidding. I mean, you're around wine all day long. So let's talk about the science of winemaking and what you've learned along the way.
So I think that the science of winemaking is the start, is the basis for it. So fermentation, all those biochemical pathways that are utilized to make wine. But I've learned through the years that there's more of a magical aspect to it. There's just something that happens when you harvest those grapes and bring them into the winery. We're using science to perform all the analysis to make sure everything's going the right way. For me, it's a really wonderful combination of using my degree, my education, my background in science, and then being this sort of artisan winemaker and just witnessing that magic happen in the tank has been really, really cool for me.
Yeah, it sounds very cool. Are there a lot of women in this career?
Yes, actually there are. I think that we see more and more women joining the winemaking field year after year. We have great palates. We're able to multitask. So I think women are very well suited for winemaking positions.
Multitask, I have to say, women are very, very good at that.
Yes.
So you have traveled all over, and France, you really got an education in wine in France.
I did. I went to France in my early 20s. I wish I'd been a little bit older and had been able to appreciate the experience a little bit more, but traveled quite extensively throughout Bordeaux and more recently Burgundy. So it's good to go back to some of those older wine regions where you can really get the history and you can meet with winemakers in different parts of the world and learn from them. That's been very influential for me.
What is the big difference between maybe wine in France and wine in Napa?
Well, certainly, you know, we're 2 completely different growing regions. So they have different soil, they have different climate. The same varietal, they're making Pinot Noir, but in 2 totally different places. So Pinot Noir is so reactive to where it's grown. The wines from Burgundy taste completely different from the wines that we produce here in California, but they're both wonderful, wonderful styles of wine.
And speaking of Pinot Noir, that's what you brought for here for us today. Tell me about these wines.
Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about the WALT brand. We are sourcing from the very best vineyards from along 1,000 miles of Pacific coast. So as far north as the Willamette Valley in Oregon and as far south as the Santa Rita Hills Appellation in the Central Coast. So the first one you have is our Bob's Ranch Pinot Noir in the Sonoma Coast. So it's really very influenced by the Petaluma wind gap. So cold, foggy, very well-drained soils. I think there's a wonderful earthiness to the wine, a wonderful fruitiness. You should try it if you can.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. Okay, so the best way to do it when somebody pours you a glass, what do? Tell me the proper way.
Okay, so you want to swirl it to kind of release the aromas, take in the aroma.
Is there a special way? My dad says there's a special way to do it, and I don't know how to do it.
So
maybe like
there you go.
Okay.
You're good. You're a natural.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but all right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's taste. It's very good.
Very fruit forward, but there's earthiness, there's a little bit of mushroom, forest floor, and all of those things are coming from that vineyard site. And that is my goal as a winemaker, to really capture the essence of the vineyard and keep it there throughout the winemaking process and deliver it in the glass.
And you're really bridging the science and creativity together. Well, thank you so much for coming on and bringing all of this wine, and I'm just going to sit here and sip a little bit. For more information on the wines that we just tasted today, you can log on to waltwines.com. And thanks for tuning in. That's going to do it for our show this week, but we will be back with more Bay Area Focus next week. Have a great day.